Wellington, Mesmer. Well, just jump back out of here. Sorry, I'm going to go back down again. Wellington and Mesmer, guys, here. Okay, Ignatius Fleet. Would you see him? Alright, let's go. Is this Ignatius guy? Kill him.
Stop. Now, you're probably wondering how I got here. Why are we looking at this robot suffering? And who is this Ignatius Fleet guy anyways? Well, I'm here to answer all those questions and more, but wait, first let's get this out the way at least. Okay, back to the program. Perpetuum. Oomph in my petrol? How much petrol does a robot drink, and why are my robots high all the time? I told you to stay off the botnip, Jeff! Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, Perpetuum. Welcome to Perpetuum and the planet of Nia. A game about funny robots. This is why I call it Funny Robot Game instead. It's short, catchy, and everybody knows what you're talking about, especially when you're on the game all day. Perpetuum is an MMO-style game. The game is divided between PvE and PvP, though these tend to blend together quite often. This is because the landmass is divided in 3 areas. Alpha. Alpha are the 2 central islands known as Hirschfield and New Virginia. Ignore New Virginia, nobody lives here. Hirsch is the trading capital of the game though. This is because these islands are PvP restricted areas and Hirschfield is connected to all the other islands. This means someone can't just roll up and implode your cross-eyed companion while you're just rolling around having a good time. You can still decide to flag up for PvP though, but it's completely optional and most people tend to stay on PvE. After Alpha, there's Beta. Beta are the islands surrounding the 2 Alpha islands. When entering Beta, you get a funny little pop-up, and when entering after just a few short seconds, you're free game for anybody. Beta is much richer in resources than Alpha. If you can find veins with about 50,000 worth of a resource on Alpha, you can probably find 6 times as much with veins up to 300,000 in Beta. You can get a nice bonus to mine material as well, and some materials aren't even available on Alpha, so you're required to go out to Beta to get them. This means it's good for mining and harvesting, but with the PvP requirements, you better take some security, or you might end up like Ivan. Or Kevin. Trust me, the mark behind their names is there for a reason. The materials you mine are needed to create your dummy-thick robots. Beta is also where a lot of companies have their main bases located. They can be walled off, and companies tend to have a solid grip over their own land. With spies positioned with so much stealth, they will know you're coming before you've even had the thought about going. Companies fight over these territories all the time. This makes this place one of the most active PvP areas of the game at any given time. Then lastly, there's Gamma. So Gamma is big. Gamma is the newest addition to the game. Gamma allows for never-before-seen base building with turrets, factories, walls, you name it, it's likely there. Gamma works the same as Beta with regards to most things. Main difference next to the base building though is its tiering system. Gamma Islands have 4 tiers total. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and Tier 0 in that order. Don't ask, I just Tier 1 is the easiest area to go to, with considerably weaker mobs in Tier 2, 3, and 0, but also significantly less loot. But as you go up in tiers, the enemies also get harder and the loot gets more profitable.
Nice.
This is why most people call you Gamma ready when you're able to handle things on T0, as most other companies tend to power level and grind materials on T0 as it's the most efficient thing to do. T0 also has some insane mining bonuses, up to like 90% extra mined materials compared to the 30 on Beta. But this is combined with continuously dodging or fighting off waves of red swarms that are there purely to wreck your day. Now, this is the core of the game. You start in Alpha, where you're alone, weak, and you're not a true funny robot master yet. Then you move to Beta to get your ass clapped, and then go back to Alpha to cry while you're looking at the Hirsch market, hoping that you'll one day be able to afford that heavy mech you always wanted. Then you decide to join a company, so your numbers can cope with what you don't have in upgrades. And once you're confident enough, You go to Gamma with a mob of people to power grind and turn your robot into Chad bots. So, how do you improve in this game? All robots have their purpose, from light scouting or harassing bots, to generalist medium mechs, to the beefiest of heavy mechs. In order to make them work well though, you require extensions, which you acquire through EP. EP is effectively experience points, experience which you can spend on improving your skills. This way, you can equip better items and get straight up boosts to your stats. It's like a level 10 World of Warcraft player versing off against a level 50 player, only then remove anything that may be making the fight balance. With an astronomical amount of extensions to choose from, it is completely up to you on how you decide to build your skill set. Just be wary, once acquired you can't just simply remove your spent EP, you've got to live with your decisions. If you decide to play this game, after you complete the tutorial you get a choice from 4 factions to choose from. This decides your starting mech, and some starting extensions you get too. Keep in mind, this does not mean that this is the only faction you can play, as you can simply decide to start leveling another faction one day. There's a few factions available. Pelistal, a faction hellbent on clouding the skies with missiles and draining your robot from all its power while hiding behind their bitchy little bubble shield. Nuimqol, a faction built to use magnetic weapons like railguns while repairing through the pain of being shot. Thelodica, laser. Oh, and built for armor, with quite a few options to disrupt the enemy's ability to function. And then, last, Industrial, the dwarves of the universe who big a lot. My personal favorite faction for the derpiness of the robots alone. And that's about all for the factions I said.
Wait. What about Syndicate mechs?
What about Syndicate mechs, Targus?
Well, the Syndicates are these cheap, tough machines which can be bought from the Syndicate supply shop. While at first glance seem to be outclassed by the other factions, their toughness and a bonus to one of the most versatile weapons in the game makes them a force to be reckoned with.
My beautiful Frankenstein machine will one day rule the world and enslave all mortals.
Okay, that's enough, Targus. Let's get back to the video. Now, after all this, you're probably wondering how I got into this situation. First of all, disclaimer. The only person active in our company that has long-time experience with this game is our dear leader, Targus. These hours here don't mean anything in comparison to the average player's playtime in this game. Like, look at Beast Mode for instance. Look at his hours. Like, how does this compare? Now, to the Haddenwol Incident. The original video's in the description, by the way. See, we're out on Norhoop as we have a contract to mine there behind their walls, as long as we give them intel if we see anything. This means we're nice and safe and tend to be able to AFK farm, while giving them a little bit of information on the way, so win-win. Well, while we were there minding our own business, half AFK, a group of PHM raiders entered the area. They blasted through the walls and they ran into us. I quickly plopped down an emergency teleport so I could get all my mechs out, and with the godly help of my mate Targus and Beast of the Legatus, we managed to get out without any losses, while still dealing a significant amount of damage to them. At least Jeff lives to mine another day. After he recognized and alerted the owners of the land what was going on, we regrouped with them and planned our counterattack, seeing as PHM's forces seemed to grow. The owners of the land, me and Legacy, requested our help. Seeing as we had not really seen any action for a while, we decided to help. For a price, obviously. No. We are still a mercenary company after all. Nonetheless, the plan was for me to use one of my alternate accounts to scout ahead, send in a useless shitty little bot and just have a look what they have over there before we all jump through the teleporter and get our ass killed. And if clear, we'd all jump through at the same time, and we would take on the enemy. I was excited. The thrill of my very first combat mission. The taste for blood. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. So, I clicked the wrong button, and instead of sending my scout through, I sent my main robot through.
Okay, Ignatius Fleet. Would you see him?
Yeah, the rest is history from there. So rest in peace, Ivan. But in the end, we didn't end up really losing much in the fight. While we lost a heavy, they lost a Mark II bot. So in the end, it's not the worst, especially seeing as I'm a newbie who hasn't really seen real combat before. In the end, I'm quite happy. Ivan served his purpose as a bullet sponge, and it was good fun in the end. Now, if you think after seeing this, hey, that looks like a lot of fun, Perpetuum is available on Steam, and if you're interested in joining the best and fastest growing mercenary band in the server, drop me a message through either their official Discord or perhaps in the game. That's all, folks. It's time for me to get back to Epri mining, as there is a lot more to come and I've got a lot of work to do for it. Big plans ahead of us. Stay tuned and subscribe to see what comes next, and thanks for watching. See you all next time.